Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to color correct a landscape photo on Lightroom. So this is an image I took during my travel to Spiti and the skies were pretty amazing, so you can see how it is. So what I'm going to show you is the before image of this photo. So this is raw, so I get more details. So what I would suggest anyone that who takes landscape photos is to capture it in raw, so you get more details in the shadows and in the highlights. Another thing to note is always try to take a step down than the normal exposure, that is one or two steps down the aperture, or whichever way you find it easy for you, the shutter speed which already increase it, that's up to you. Just make sure that you have a lot of detail in the highlights. Even here it's a bit blown out in this area, but you have a lot of details in the clouds here. At the same time you get a bit of detail in the shadows. So if you really expose for the clouds, you will lose a lot of detail in the shadows. So it takes time for you to find that uh, exact exposure, but when you keep trying you will find out in time. So first I'm gonna create a virtual copy, so two copies of it is made. So you can see it just makes another copy with the exact same settings, and you can save the file as a different uh, name in our copy. So I'm gonna deal with the copy. There's no change in any other details. It's like almost duplicating it. So I'll go ahead and reset everything here. Okay, so first we'll start with exposure. I think this looks good. Just leave it there. And contrast, you have to bring up the contrast. For 660 is a very optimum range. And next is highlights, so you bring down the highlights, and already you can see there's a lot of detail coming in the skies. I think 100 is pretty good, but sometimes if you don't want so much, you can just bring it back to the level which you want. You can always see the change there. And next is shadows. Obviously you bring up the shadows, so that's this area. Obviously it was underlit. And next is white almost does the same like the highlights which we have already seen. So we'll just light up a bit, the whites. And the blacks, see, it brings down but I don't want it to be too exposed, so this gives me a little more contrast to the image. And the clarity is something that you can choose, or you can leave that. So I just always keep that a very minimum. And next to the vibrance, so those who want those very saturated colored tone, you already get this. So already if you all check the before and after of this image, you can see a huge difference. So this mainly accounts because of the raw detail that we get. So always capture in raw, like I said before. Next what we have to do is the tone curve. So you can just play with the highlights a bit, the lights, so that it's a bit lit up. And don't bring out the darks. See, this is something that you can experiment on, totally up to your thing. So already there's a difference. So if you want to see what's the difference that tone curve made, just toggle this button here. And next is the hue colors. That is up to you totally. If you want to add the more details in the blue, you just have to bring up the saturation. um, and so on. So I'm not gonna go much in detail to all this. Maybe you can add a bit of sharpness, and I don't see any noise here, so if it's too dark you can add the noise reduction or something here. Okay, now the next important thing in landscape photography is you always have two different exposures, that is the sky and the foreground, which is mostly a mountain or a water body or whatever it is. So again, what you can do is start with the gradient. Just just draw out the gradient tool here. Just place it at the minimal approximate place where you want it to be. Bring down the highlights. Already you can see there's a change here, and if you wanna even reduce and give the exposure a darker look, the sky a darker look, you can do that here with the exposure reduction, but I'm just gonna do a very little that. You can add more contrast to your skies. Again, I'm not gonna do a lot with that. And next, the shadows, and that is again something you can try it on. I'm gonna leave it like that. And saturation is something, if you want to add more saturation to the image, I mean the sky alone, you can do that. So now to check what your gradient filter has done, just toggle it off. So this is before and this is after. So you can see the difference already. So what I'll do is just add a bit of shadows into the clouds here. So this is the first gradient tool. So this is something I did with the skies. Now I do the same thing with the landscape, but everything in reverse. So I just keep it here. I bring up the shadows. Don't bring it too much, because then the noise will start appearing in your shadows. You don't want so much noise. And the exposure looks cool for me. You wanna toggle with the saturation thing, and if you wanna add more drama to the scene, you can add more temperature to the scene, or if you want to make it very shady or something, you can bring around the temperature, but I'll just put it up a bit, like here. Looks good for me. So they have this new feature called brushing out. So if you wanna brush out the overmarked area, see, this is the sky, so you don't want the sky to be affected here. So just take the brush and then go to erase, and you can just easily erase it off. Flow here, so yeah, so you erase out it so it doesn't get affected to the sky there, and it makes it look weird. So this is what something you can zoom in and do. So with that, a smaller brush you can do with more finesse. So you can see here as well, there's a bit of mountain that is left in the gradient. So what I will do is I'll just go back to brush, not the erase, and add the same detail that I wanted in this gradient that is already there. So I'll just draw on it, so this is a mask overlay. So this is where you can toggle it off and see where your gradient is affected. This is the before photo where I took it in RAW with exposing the sky, and this is the final image, which looks very dramatic and very much like an amazing landscape. So thanks guys for watching this tutorial video, and I'll be making more videos for Lightroom and Photoshop soon. And subscribe and follow my channel here. So until next time, bye.